So we have discussed the narrative type of paragraphs and also the descriptive type of paragraphs. Okay. Now the next type is reflective paragraphs or reflective essays. What does reflective mean? What does it mean? Is
which require deep thinking.
yeah, essays which require deep thinking. Very nice. So you know that they require deep thinking on the part of the writer, and they are usually about social, political, domestic affairs. What are they about? Social, political, or domestic affairs. For example, how do people justify war? Now this is a reflective topic. Why? Because you are supposed to think about the topic. You are supposed to think about the content then. Okay, what are you going to write about it? You cannot just write like this. They require deep thinking. Another topic, for example, what might establish peace? Is China the next superpower? Or say impact of media coverage on elections? Or a very common topic that you have in exams, cell phones. Cell phones, a boon or bane? Now, cell phones, a boon or bane, this again is a reflective topic, because there is going to be a debate. Do you consider it a boon or do you consider it a bane? And then towards the end you would reach at the evaluation, okay, when you would conclude your essay or say the paragraph. So this, you can write a paragraph on this topic as well. Cell phones, I'm just giving you an assignment, like say as far as narrative paragraphs are concerned, you have taken down the topic when I got lost in the foreign city. You can write on when I got lost in the foreign city, and you can write about this topic also. Yes. Can you suggest some topic from your side which needs thinking?
Reservation issues.
If you have to talk about reservation issues, then also you require deep thinking. Any other? Any other? Yes. Good. That's very nice. You understood.
Menace of terrorism.
Menace of terrorism. Yes. Menace of terrorism. Nice. This is again a very good topic. Menace of terrorism. And at present, coronavirus has become a menace for the humanity. Okay, so you've seen descriptive, narrative, reflective, and the last one is idiomatic. This is one of my favorite type of paragraph or say essay, idiomatic. Now this is from the word idiom. It is from the word idiom. They require, if you have, say if you are students of literature, then it is easier for you to write essays which are idiomatic essays or say idiomatic paragraphs. So they require expansion of an idiom, maxim, or a proverb. One should understand the hidden and symbolic meaning of these proverbs clearly, or else the entire exercise will go wrong. If you do not know the meaning of the idiom, okay, meaning of the maxim or proverb, then you are not going to hit the point. And if you do not hit the point, means if you do not say understand the right meaning of the proverb, the maxim, then the whole exercise, the entire exercise, going to be a waste of time. Okay? So, what is important? It is important to understand the hidden meaning, because they carry hidden meaning. These proverbs carry hidden. For example, Rome was not built a day. Rome was not built in a day. Or all that glitters is not gold. All that glitters is not gold. What does it mean? All that glitters is not gold?
Appearances are deceptive.
Appearances are deceptive. Very good. Appearances are deceptive. And actions speak louder than words. These are good topics. Actions speak louder than words, and they are often repeated in exams, or say university exams or competitive exams. Or say beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, or necessity is the mother of invention. Any topic from your side? Is
You can't judge a book by its cover.
you cannot judge a book by its cover. It again is a good topic. You cannot judge a book by its cover. What does it mean?
Same, appearances are deceptive.
Appearances are deceptive. It also means the same. So, unless you understand the deeper meaning, you cannot write a proper essay or a proper paragraph. Or say, one topic I'm reminded of: a penny saved is a penny gained. A penny saved is a penny gained. So, there are 4 kinds of essay. Let us repeat: descriptive, narrative, reflective, and idiomatic. In this lecture, let us confine ourselves exclusively to writing of paragraph. I am writing it again. Let's not forget. Okay, let's not digress from this. We are talking about paragraph, as I told you right in the beginning. And how should it be attempted in an examination? We may define a paragraph as a collection of sentences that all relate to a single idea or a single topic in a coherent, lucid, and logical sequence. See, remember these 3 words. They are all important. Your paragraph has to be coherent, it should be lucid, and there has to be a logical sequence. Logical sequence. If your paragraph possesses these characteristics, then it's going to be a good paragraph. It has to be coherent, lucid. That it means, this means, it should be free flowing. Free flowing means there should not be any hindrances or impediments, and there has to be a logical sequence too. Logical sequence means first sentence should have connection with the second, and second with the third, this way. So we may define paragraph as a collection of sentences that all relate to the topic, the single idea. Okay? Yes. A good paragraph is a group of sentences which are related to the topic. When I say topic, the central idea, I am not only talking about the title of the essay, I am also talking about the topic sentence. Topic sentence, this is also very important. Topic sentence. Do you know what a topic sentence is?
Which convey the central idea.
Which conveys the central idea. Which conveys the central idea. Very good. Very nice. So, in other words, I may say a good paragraph is a group of sentences which very often begins with a topic sentence, as introduction. This comes in the beginning, followed by supporting sentences. Supporting sentences that make the body of your paragraph, and concludes recapitulating the central idea in the last sentence, which is your conclusion. And this has to be very emphatic. The conclusion has to be very convincing and emphatic. Thus, an ideal paragraph ought to comprise 3 different types of sentences. Okay, 3 different types of sentences. You have the title of the paragraph and your topic sentence. The first sentence should be very powerful, and it should directly be related with the title, topic sentence. Okay? And then what do you have? You have supporting sentences. Supporting sentences. Supporting sentences are those sentences which follow the topic sentence and support the topic sentence. Supporting sentences. And what do you have at the end? You have the concluding sentences. Concluding sentence. Because you do not have scope to write many sentences, so I would say a concluding sentence in a paragraph. What does it do? The concluding sentence, it recapitulates. Okay, recapitulates. The recapitulates means sums up. It sums up the entire paragraph. So this is how it's going to be. So your paragraph should carry topic sentence, supporting sentences, and the summing up of the entire paragraph. So it should be understood that a paragraph has a beginning, middle, and an end. Now you would say that everything has got a beginning, middle, and an end. Like, every film has a beginning, a middle, and an end. A novel has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So what is new about it? If you begin an essay, you are also going to end it. You will not leave it in between. There is a poet, who left his poems incomplete. Why? Because he was an opium addict. The poet was an opium addict. Coleridge I am talking about. Coleridge, the one who has written The Ancient Mariner, and you read the poem Time of the Ancient Mariner. Okay, so he was the one who would leave the poems incomplete because he was addicted to taking opium. Yeah. But yeah, my question was that you would ask that everything has got a beginning, every story has got a beginning, a middle, and an end. So what is new about it? When I say beginning, I'm writing it beginning, middle, and end. Beginning should be such that it should lead to the middle. Means there has to be a logical connection between the two, and middle should lead to the end. Means, like, say beginning, in the middle, this becomes the cause and this becomes the effect. And in the end, middle becomes the cause and end becomes the effect of the cause. So there has to be a cause and effect connection. I don't know whether you understood or not. I said that every paragraph should have a beginning, middle, and an end. And there has to be a logical connection, a kind of cause and effect connection. Cause and effect connection, do you know? Like, Aristotle talks about in his Poetics, and he calls it cause and effect sequence, cause and effects theory. Well, I can even show you with the help of a diagram here, so that you can understand it better and you do not forget it ever. So when we are talking about paragraph, we are talking about an ideal paragraph. What are we talking about? We are talking about an ideal paragraph. So first one is the topic sentence, okay, which you can call the beginning, okay, which you can call the beginning, and this beginning is in fact the introduction. This is the introduction. And after the beginning, after the topic sentence, what do you have? Your supporting sentences. Supporting sentences. Now, supporting sentences. Now, this is one. This is second supporting sentence for the second supporting sentence. This is third supporting sentence. This is fourth supporting sentence. What I mean to say, that there can be, say, 10 to 15 supporting sentences in a paragraph. And what do they make? They all make the body of the paragraph. What do they make? They all make the body of the paragraph. And this body is called, is the middle part of the essay. It's the middle part of the essay. This is the effect of the beginning. And then towards the end, what do you have? You have the concluding sentence. Concluding sentence. And what does concluding sentence do? It recapitulates the entire paragraph. So this is the end. So you have beginning, you have middle, and you have end. So you have the cause and effect sequence as well. Is it okay? So this is the conclusion. It is conclusion.